host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural, metaphysical, paranormal. You know, all those things you've been wondering about? Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown? I hope you've got your walking shoes on, because life is an adventure, and this is the journey. Come on, let's go. Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Journey Radio Show, and hey, we're the She Squatchers. I'm Jen Cruz, your host, and I've got my trusty teammate. I've got Jenna Grover. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, and I'm looking for my earbuds. Sorry, guys.
All right. And Tammy couldn't join us tonight, but we've got so many cool chicks with us tonight. We've got the Soul Sisters with us, right?
Hi, guys.
So there's three of them, just like there's three of us, but we're minus Tammy tonight. But oh well, we've got enough girls here. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves to all of our listeners. Who is a spokesman?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm Kimberly Williamson, one of the Soul Sisters. Michelle and I are actual sisters, and Squirrel, otherwise known as Katie Molosky, is actually a friend of ours, but she's basically become an adopted sister. I live in Rhode Island, so does my sister. So
nice. And Katie, you live there too?
Oh, so I live on Long Island, actually. So I'm across the pond. So in New York, and I met the girls on a ghost hunt. So yeah, and then we were just inseparable. So
I love that. Well, we started out, us three girls started out like Jenna was my friend and Tammy was my friend, and I brought them together with me. So that's how we came together. But I love that. We consider ourselves to be soul sisters, like we're soulmates, the three of us. So when I saw you guys, I was like, oh my gosh, look at them. I love them. So yeah, tell us a little bit about, what you've been doing as the Soul Sisters. Like, what does that stand for you guys?
go ahead, girls.
Oh, I thought you were the spokesman. Well, obviously we are sisters, like she said, and Squirrel is our adopted sister. So we kind of can't live without each other. We just connected right away, and we mesh really well, and that's where the name was born. And we like the supernatural better than paranormal. Plus, there was a paranormal. There's a Soul Sisters paranormal somewhere, I think in Florida. So we picked this because it's all encompassing, and we're studying ufology right now, me and Kimberly, interested in Sasquatch, and we love all things ghostly. So it seems to be a better name for us.
I like that. So you're into all the stuff. We do all the stuff too. We were doing paranormal, supernatural stuff before we got into Bigfoot. And we just started doing it together, the Bigfoot thing. So that's how we got going on that. But we were ghosties and all that stuff before. All of us are psychic mediums. How about you guys?
So I'm more on the analytical scientific side. So I'm the scientist of the group. So I'm more from the, so my background is I'm a chemist and a biologist. So I always came from that route. And even getting into this field, I mean, there's a lot of things the girls know. Like I'm very hesitant on things I feel or see, and I always like try to bounce it off them because I'm more of the data and I'm more of the numbers, and so I feel like we balance each other very well. Like where I'm coming from the science side, and the girls are coming from spiritual medium, right?
Sorry, guys. I'm having technical difficulties over here.
I thought I froze. I was like, did I freeze?
No, and I'm like, sorry, I'm kicked out of the group. I don't even know how to get back in. I know I'm in, but I'm not in. Does that make sense?
You're in. We see you just fine.
I can't see you guys, but
we can see you.
It's so weird.
Okay.
I'm trying. Sorry. Trying
Well,
to click
I'll go.
something.
So I'm the sensitive in the group, but my sister has become a lot more sensitive over the years now. But I've always been like that. So I sense a lot of energies, and it's kind of cool because we'll go to places and I most of the time don't know much about them, and most of the time it's right, which is kind of amazing. I get a lot of talking in my head or in my ear, like I hear them talking to me, which is I thought I was crazy for a while, but now I don't anymore. It's kind of cool actually.
you get used to it. I know it,
Yeah.
it does when you let yourself go through that spiritual awakening and just let it really boom open. It does feel like you're going crazy. It
Okay.
does. Yeah. And then you just start trusting it after you see it's correct at time after time and after time. Then you can start to trust it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And working with these girls, like they've been starting to opening up my third eye to things, and so it's been scary a little bit, but also like good. So
Yes, yes. It's just opening another sense and seeing what else is out there with the other senses. So not to be scared of it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So what is your favorite things to look at? Like tell us some of your favorite stories.
I think, well, I should have probably sent you guys the pictures beforehand, but I did get some really good ghost photos that I took at Wilson Castle in Proctor, Vermont. That was probably one of my top places. But Michelle and I actually went to Wales and London too, and we did some paranormal investigations over there that were really, really amazing. So like Ancient Ram Inn from 1100 AD. We went to a bunch of castles and just, some got to explore some ruins. So we had a lot of great experiences over there.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
That
You
does
think we have
sound
ghosts here? Go there.
Yeah. Seriously.
yeah, and our
awesome.
team is like based in the Northeast, so we've been going to more so like we've been to the Conjuring House a couple times together. We love going there. We're going there in May, girls?
In
Like, are we
May,
going back
yeah.
there?
Yep.
May.
I know Andrea Perrin. She's so awesome. What did you think of their house?
I
It's
think, go ahead, Michelle.
it's definitely got a lot of energy. I personally don't think it's the house. I think it's the land. There's very elemental old energy in this area. And I think what happens is it's pulling and trapping. And even we've been there a few times and it's like you don't want to leave. And it's got this pull. Like I'm all excited to go back again. But the first time we went there, we got crazy stuff that happened. And it was just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, what happened?
Oh God. So, it was a lot.
We
The
had all the
first
REM pods going off. Remember, Michelle? Like we had all of our REM pods, and it was the cat balls in
and the
the
gate
kitchen.
meters,
Yep, we had a bunch of
electronic,
equipment just
everything was going off.
go wonky, and we were asking certain questions, and it would actually like play with the REM pod a certain amount of time. So if it was like, say, touch it once for yes, touch it twice for no, it would do that. And we were asking about the soldiers on the land, from the history, if there was any, that were still stuck there. And they were answering us. It was really crazy.
I love that. I love that.
But you want to tell the story about the bush, Katie?
Oh my God. Yeah. So when I went with the girls, because they already went, they're Rhode Islanders, so that's like right next door to you guys, right?
20 minutes for me. Yeah.
It's pretty close. So when I went the first time with them, we went out into the I felt like it was more like in the land, like where like I don't know where we felt more. And we were just out there, and I think we were just doing a session. And I turned to my left, and I like there was a bush like way in the back, and then I felt like it got a little bit closer, and then I remember I just like I was like whatever, like, and I just like started like focusing more on what we were doing, and I turned again, and then it got a little bit closer, and and you're looking at it and you're like, what, like, why is it getting like, are my eyes playing a trick on me? Like, is it the night time? Like all these, my analytical brain, like trying to like just debunk everything. And I tapped Kim on the shoulder and I was like, is that bush moving? And her face when she saw it, right? Like, as you saw it, like it got closer.
Yeah,
and then even
it was
Michelle's like,
moving.
she's like, we need to go. And like, I think we ran, three of us ran pretty fast, like back into the Conjuring house because of that. So
it was literally coming closer. Like, it's so weird when you say it out loud and you talk about it. You sound like you're absolutely nuts. Like, there's no way this bush is actually moving towards us. But I swear to you, it was moving towards us. Like, it was getting closer. And like, why
I was
is
just
that
like on her shoulder, like, what do we do? Like, it's moving. So,
and we don't drink or do drugs or anything. Like, so it's like, well, we do drink, just not during our investigations.
Right.
so crazy. I just still can't. I could still see. And then the next morning, of course, actually the rest of the night we were just afraid to go outside after that. So that was the best part because our snacks were in the car and we're like, we can't even go out and get them. So yeah, we were like, I know I personally was a little like, I mean, it was just nothing like I've ever seen before.
So you were able to spend the night there?
Yeah.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Till
rented out.
7 a.m.
I didn't know they rented it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we waited till daylight. We went back outside, and the bush was back where it was. So,
But I think
So
the wildest thing at that place, Jen, was we were in the kitchen where they've had, I think I've read stuff about like a time slip and different things in the kitchen. And we were sitting there and we were using, it wasn't a necrophonic, it was something else. And it was answering everything that the girl was asking. All our equipment is going off, like everything's going off at the same time. And I'm sitting at the head of the table, and all of a sudden I saw this glittery mist just appear in front of my face, but no one else saw it. And it actually got to the point where it like was just right in front of my nose, and I freaked out and I told it had to back off and go away because I was really freaking out. And it just dissipated and nobody saw it. I couldn't even barely see through the thing. Like, it was so weird. So weird. So I'm hoping the next time we go, there's only 6 of us. So hoping we get some good stuff again, for sure.
Yeah, it would be nice to know what that was right in your face.
Yeah, I think there's portals there. So that's why it kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
The
Was it the
energy is
the phasma box? Was that what it was, guys? Like, was it
Yeah.
the phasma?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Yes.
and didn't it seem like it was like mimicking us at a point too?
started to mimic me. It said, I forgot exactly what it was that I said, and then it said the same thing. It was so weird. And I said, oh my gosh, it's mimicking me now.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some really crazy experiences there. Gosh, I mean, we've gone so many places. It's hard to be like, well, this is our favorite and this is where we got the most action, because honestly, like every time we go somewhere, for some reason, the 3 of us always seem to get a lot of activity and a lot of really good results. We had USS Salem, and I'm still working on, which one of the other podcasts we were on, actually, somebody had jumped on saying that he knows how to decipher Morse code. So I'm going to send it to him. But I mean, we were on the USS Salem right in the communications room, and the speaker that Squirrel uses, it's really like to turn it on and off. You kind of just twist it. We had it going and we were just listening to like the necrophonic and stuff, and it started beeping, and you can hear us on the recorder going, what is that? Like, is it dying? Is it dying? So we would go over to the speaker, and it literally had to be somebody pushing down on the speaker, like making Morse code. So what I have in the recording is us kind of talking, then it's like do 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 do, like actual Morse code. So I'm going to send it to this guy that offered to decipher it for us, because I tried some apps and it doesn't really work. Or I got nothing. So we'll see.
That's pretty cool. I'll look forward to hearing about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what it says. If it says anything, right?
I know. That's the thing. Like, I'll be bummed out if it doesn't to go into anything.
Well, they get stars for trying, though.
Yes, true.
No.
We've never had that happen before or since.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would take a lot of energy because even for us to do it, it was weird. You'd have to push down enough on it to beep. So it would take a lot of energy for something to actually do that. And it definitely wasn't the speaker dying because we used it the rest of the night. And it never did.
Like put it on the charger because that's what I was worried about. I was like, what is happening with this thing?
Wow, that's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
going to be investigating Emory Estate this weekend, actually, which is in Weymouth, Mass. So that's in Massachusetts, not far from us. We rented out the place. So there's going to be a couple of our friends coming too. We like to kind of like, you know, have our friends with us and do like a small investigation, and they'll get to kind of use the equipment and everything. And we kind of teach a little bit too. So it's fun.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I've never heard of that place. Can you tell us about it?
So I haven't done too much research on it. I know it's pretty similar to George Washington's Mount Vernon home. I think I forget how much land it sits on. It's huge, but it looks like that house, basically. And I didn't look up the history because I don't like to be tainted before I go into an investigation.
That's smart. That's smart. I live in Minnesota, so all these places out there, you know, I'm probably not going to be super familiar with them. So
No, that's true.
That is true. I forgot about that.
yeah, I've never even been to Massachusetts before,
Oh, you should come.
or Rhode Island, or Long Island.
You know,
I've
we
never-
have a small Bermuda Triangle, basically. What is it called, Michelle?
Oh, the Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And there's Bigfoot. We
Yeah,
have
There's
Bigfoot.
cryptids and
We have Pudgy Wudgies.
Yeah.
You mean Puckwudgies?
You know, for
Pudgies.
I always
second,
call Puppy when you do.
I
Or
thought you were
fuck
calling me
buddies.
Bigfoot. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay, amen. Okay.
There is
Hi,
a question in
guys.
the chat room. Sherry would like to know, how do you fund the rentals of these venues?
So we pay for them sometimes. Like this one's being split amongst all of us for the so it's basically considered a donation that we're giving. And so we're each pitching in $100 to investigate.
Well, that's not bad, because I know like Waverly's like 1,100 a night,
Oh yeah.
1,500.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
be tough.
Yeah.
Unless there was a lot of people that wanted to go. But
So the other question that she's now asking is, what equipment do you really want that you don't already have?
Oh
ooh, I
god.
want a full-size flare. Yeah. I
Flare.
just have a small one that hooks up to my phone right now. It works well, but
Yeah, I just took a still shot of what on my phone. I was like, of something I saw on Ghost Stop. It's like a Flux 2. So the girls know, like Dustin Perry uses it. It's like the triangle that like it goes yes or no, like it lights up on one side. So it's $200. It's on the wish list. So
Nice, nice.
I don't know what I'd want. I
So-
think I want the big talking bear. I want the big boo. I have a small boo.
I feel like, is there a paranormal Santa like listening? Like, do you
I
That's
know.
what I was going to ask. Who is going to get us all these things? Because I've got a huge list too.
You know, it doesn't hurt to put it out there, because I have somebody sent me a flare.
Oh, really?
really?
yeah, well,
And Jenna was jealous because it was nicer than hers.
Yeah. And this one's like a special edition Ghostbuster one that's like ectoplasm, glow in the dark. And I was like, oh man. Like, I was like,
Yeah. It doesn't hurt to put it out there what you'd like to have. It doesn't hurt, because you never know. Somebody
Yeah.
could play Santa for you.
Yeah.
Because all the equipment, I mean, it gets spendy
yeah.
over time,
Yeah.
you know. And we started out doing ghosts, and then we moved into doing Bigfoot, and it's different stuff. A lot of it is different stuff. So,
I
yeah.
feel like though, you know, with us too, we're pretty simplistic. Like, well, not our mad scientist squirrel over there, but she'll come out with her tool belt of equipment. She has everything, right? But like Michelle and I have pretty much mostly relied on like my recorder and ourselves, you know, honestly, like just trusting your gut and going with what you feel and knowing that basically you're not crazy. Like the voices that are in your head are actually not you.
Right. Exactly. You got to learn to
Yeah.
trust that. Got to learn to trust that. And once you do, then you can just run with it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, for sure. I'm always supportive of that. Whoop, whoop. And what do I always say, Jenna? Ask questions. Ask
Yep,
questions.
yep. But you know, I have to, because I missed the beginning and I'm so sorry. I got back early or late, and so you're seeing me as I am. But I wanted to say thank you guys so much for being on here. And I'm so sorry I was late. And I'm so happy to see you guys. And I hope one day we get to do something together. That would be so freaking awesome.
I would love that.
But
Ooh.
And
I
thank you,
think
Jenna,
that
for
we should
reaching out
take
to
them
us.
camping. I
Yes.
want to go Sasquatch hunting, and I'm a huge camper and a hiker. It would be
You
fun
know-
to get them out there.
Hey,
I'm a Long Island girl.
I used to live in Boston, by the way. I went to Emerson College.
Oh, nice.
really?
Yeah. Yep, for a couple years. Yep. It was really wild.
And Tammy
Really
lives
well.
in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, not too well. Virginia Beach is kind of far, but
Yeah.
But it's
Oh.
great to visit.
yeah,
Yeah. There's an ocean.
there's an ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. She moved out there, I don't know what, 4 years ago now. She was in
Mhm.
Minnesota. She was near us, but she decided to go be by
Yeah.
the water.
Yes.
I'm
swear,
happy with my 10,000 lakes up here in Minnesota.
I like oceans. I like lakes, but give me water at least somewhere,
Yeah.
you know? Do you guys like water?
Love
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
we grew up here, so I can't imagine living in the middle of the country with
Right?
ocean. I just can't.
I hear ya.
Salt life, yeah, beach girls.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So we're all beach girls then.
We
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yay. I feel so close to you guys already. You guys are our sisters. It kind of feels like that. I mean, it's so nice to talk to other women groups and talk about how you guys roll, you know, out in the woods. And I think, yeah, I'm so excited to have you guys on. I just wish I would have been here earlier. Oh, so you guys were talking about the equipment you were using, and I
Yep.
heard that, you know, you said you had a FLIR. You said a full-size FLIR?
No, I
She
have a
wants
small
one.
one. That's on my wish list is the full size,
Okay.
but the little one works for now.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the FLIR just for distance-wise, but close up, it's pretty good. What do you guys think about the FLIR?
Yeah, outside not so great. I took it camping and I'm like, it just doesn't work like you think it would work. But for the ghost hunting, I mean, we haven't really caught anything, I don't think, on it yet, but I don't
She
use
just
it
has
all
the
the
one
time
on the
either.
phone. She has the one that attaches to the
Oh,
phone.
Yeah, so with the screen
okay.
up on the phone, but I end up using the equipment myself more. So a lot of times I forget to even pull things out otherwise.
Well, the thing that I found personally is that when you have too much equipment out there, you don't know what to grab and when. So I'm cutting back. How about you guys?
Same. Yeah, I felt like in the beginning I had, like the girls know, I had a lot more. And like now, right, I just like have like the basics on my tool belt that I carry around.
Yeah. It's so much easier to move and yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I really wanted, which I got for Christmas, was a GoPro for my head. So I don't care how much of a dork I'm gonna look like. It's gonna be amazing.
Girl, there's so much footage with me with that thing on my head. It looks so dumb. But you know what? We got great footage. So you're
That's
gonna
what I
like
love.
They do malfunction a lot, though. I'm just gonna
Do they?
say the battery life isn't great, right, Jenna?
it is. Well, the battery life is not great if you're consistently videoing. So you have to take, and this is also for editing reasons, like to if you want to share something, that way you don't have to go through everything, but to take like maybe 2-minute increments. That's a really, really good way of doing it too. Or just shorter increments, because it gets hot fast on your head. So just
Oh
saying,
yeah,
you'll
I
have a
didn't
big
even
red
think about
mark on
that.
your.
I love the bangs.
Oh yeah, you've got protection.
I'll be like,
Right. All the pictures are going to look fabulous.
yeah. It's not about fashion. That's not why we ghost hunt.
Oh yeah. Have you
Or
guys?
we start a new trend. Yes.
Yes, that's it. Girls in their equipment.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
8 out.
Yeah, right?
Jen?
Yes. What?
Shh, I don't have
You
anything
could
to
say
say. I'm
it
really embarrassed
naturally.
about saying that. Huh?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So you do ghost hunting, you do UFO. You look into UFOs?
We've started to learn about them.
Yeah, we've been learning about ufology. Just basically with so he's on paranormal caught on camera. I was gonna say Brian Kano. So he's kind of like our teacher, our mentor. And he's just got a lot of knowledge, and so yeah, he's been teaching us about ufology. We were kind of interested in doing the CE5 thing at some point, right,
Oh
Michelle?
yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, we did it small scale with Brian. Oh, you weren't with us. I think it was me and the squirrel that did that.
Yeah.
But I mean, when my boyfriend and I go camping, we go way up north. So we like to just lay out, and we've seen some things that don't make any sense in the sky, which is where I want them. That's close enough. But but it's been kind of cool that we've been learning more about that, especially with all the disclosure. We've been listening to all of that and watching the videos. So it's been kind of
It's about
interesting.
time.
I know.
Right?
No, they've got to release
Definitely.
more though. There's so much more they're not telling us.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they're not. I think it's gonna freak out a lot of people, but
Well, they started doing the disclosure and nobody even batted an eye. I think we're ready.
I know.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think we're ready to get sucked up.
Right, me too. I'd totally go right now. I'd be like, I'm
Yeah.
ready. This
Me
this
too.
Earth, let's try another one. Let's
Eggs
try
are
All
only
another
over
hold
there.
hands and just kind of
Right,
beam me up, Scotty.
right. I'm so all about it. So let me know if you guys let us know if you guys find any portals or beams. So what do you guys really think? I mean, do you think Bigfoot is related to UFO? I know there's a lot of talk about that.
I think he's interdimensional. I do.
Yeah.
And just the fact that, I mean, you guys know way more about this than me, but all the pictures and everything is always just a little blurry. I don't know. I feel like there's some interference and they just don't want to be seen, and I don't blame them. I would like to
Mhm.
be Sasquatch someday. So, just hide out in the woods. But yeah, I think there's more to him than meets the eye for sure, or her. But
Yeah, especially because there's no bones and that type of thing that just blows my mind all the time. Like, what do you girls think?
Well,
You
I
know,
think they probably bury their dead, but you don't find a lot of bones out in the woods anyway. How often do you stumble upon bear bones or moose bones? I mean, these are things that the porcupines usually eat. The animals will eat that stuff anyway if it's left on top.
I didn't
Um,
know porcupines ate bones.
well, they eat antlers for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff just gets done, but
Mhm.
I do think that Bigfoot is more like a people, because when we've done our expeditions with Jason Kenzie, we were in Michigan a few years ago. I think that was 3 years ago, doing an expedition, and it was searching for Sasquatch 3 and 4 documentaries. You can watch them on Tubi or Amazon Prime. And those were both. It was 3 and 4, as 4 is a continuation of 3, and so we were in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And we were going from event to event. We traveled 3 weeks straight that month. And so we didn't get to stay as long as everybody else for the expedition. So we had to leave the day that we found an X in the forest, right? Well, he decided that night he was going to hang his hammock from that X and sleep there. And we're like, probably not a good idea, but we're out of here. Bye. Because we had to go speak at a conference in Tennessee. So we had to get going. Anyway, he hung his hammock there, and something approached him, growled at him, and said something that he didn't understand, but he got it recorded. And we don't get to see the documentaries till they're out for the public. So by the time I saw this, it's already on TV. And I heard it and I said, that's Ojibwe language. I'm sure that that's Ojibwe language. And so when we had him at my reservation in Minnesota this last summer in August, I said, play that recording for this lady, this elder. She's a first speaker, meaning she spoke Ojibwe first. And she went, oh! And she said, she repeated what the recording said, and then she translated it. And it was a surprise. It was hoa, which is a surprise. And then it was get out of here.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
so yeah,
No,
that
that's
was
scary.
pretty cool. So we are at the point where we need to go to our commercial break. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. All right, we should be clear.
Okay. Hey, so I'm seriously not in, like, I can't see you guys at all.
Okay,
I'm just staring at nothing.
If you hang up the call and then you should be able to see where it says join call after you hang up. If you do the red phone, and you should be able to click to come back in.
Let me.
But
do
you
that.
look like you're really looking at us, so it
I was
works.
trying so hard, girls.
You
But
did
it's like
good.
I can't even find where to end the call. This is so weird.
It's a red phone at the bottom. The red button.
I swear I clicked out of something strange and like here calls.
Yeah, it's weird. Was there an update?
I'm up in the corner, like tiny, and now
She found the phone. She found the way to get out. So hopefully she'll find her way back in.
Am I little in the corner for everybody else? Or
You are. You're a
No.
tiny little thing.
If you, at the top of the right, you can click view and do large grid, which is what I see you guys all very large. So
large.
Large grid.
Oh.
Does it still work where you can push the bottom and then you can see the speaker speak at that? I can't get it to work. There you are.
Hey, hi, Michelle Niqua. I see you now.
She back? Is she back?
Oh, Kim's not back yet.
She did call in. She should be able to just. She started a call. She started her own call.
Oh no.
Okay, that was her name again is Kim, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call her again. Hopefully. She should have just been able to. There, now she's joined. Okay.
I think I'm in.
Oh
Yes.
Wait. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay, cool. And then okay.
Welcome back to the show, everyone.
There
This is
you
the
are.
This is the Journey Radio Show. And hey, we're the She Squatchers. Why don't you check us out online at shesquatchers.com. Click on our events page and see where we're going to be. There's going to be lots more added to there soon, but we have plenty on there. So we're also on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, She Squatchers Official. Please come and like and follow us there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, 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 because you'll find out all of our cool stuff there. Anyway, tonight we've got the Soul Sisters with us, and so thank you for coming on, ladies.
Hey.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
This feels like we need to get together soon, you guys.
Seriously.
I already feel like you guys are like part of us. So
You know, I
Yes.
too bad we're missing Tammy. Like,
I
right?
know. See, yep. Sorry, I'm so excited.
I just love the fact that we're like a group of three and a group of three and just awesome girls.
Yes.
Like that's awesome. It's actually like I find like we have, just found each other and it's like we're just empty when we're apart. It's so weird. And my sister and I have always had a really good relationship, obviously. Well, probably not always. She used to beat me up a little bit.
Sisters are like that.
Brothers are worse.
Then we got older and we wanted to hang out with each other. Well, actually, I wanted to hang out with her and her friends because they were super cool, and she didn't want me to do that. But
So you're the younger sister then?
I am, yeah. Ha. She's like,
no one's gonna ask your age, I promise.
I'm gonna ask.
Jen, I promise. You can't break my promise. On air. I mean, we're not gonna ask you on air. Say, quick question. Am I lagging?
No.
Okay.
No,
I go
you
like
are
this.
not. So you have gone looking for Bigfoot.
I mean, I've been out camping I've been camping since I was a teenager. And me and my cool friends, we used to go up to New Hampshire, just park at the base of a mountain and just hike in. And I've never seen anything. But I mean, I've done a lot of off-grid camping. Not crazy, but enough of it. But so far, like you said, I mean, we found one deer carcass of bones. I never ever see much of anything when we're out there hiking either, though. So you're right. I never really thought about that. But no, not yet, not as far as I know. But I wasn't really looking either. So I thought it was pretty cool. You do the remote viewing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Jen is so good at it. She's a rock star at remote viewing. She really is.
Yeah, that's my
Oh, she froze.
Oh yeah.
bit with looking at things from above.
Oh, we missed
I
it.
back?
We heard it's my.
Oh, it's my thing. I've always been obsessed with looking at things from above. I even would dream of, like, flying in, looking at things from above. And so when I years ago, before Google Earth or Google Maps, people would buy me atlases, and I would be like, oh.
I had
And
driving
then when-
atlases too. Whew, do we all
Yeah,
do that?
But everybody, like, if anybody said something about a place that I had never been, I'd have to go stare at it on my atlas. I was obsessed. So when Google Earth and Google Maps came out with satellite imagery, I was glued to. I went and got a computer for that, like a new laptop and everything, because I was like, I gotta be on there. Yeah, obsessed, big time. But for me, I even dream that way, where I'm looking at things from above, and then I swoop down like an eagle flying in, and that's how I found my first dead body.
What?
Yeah. So I kept dreaming. I'm originally from Thief River Falls, Minnesota, and my aunt has a house right on the river outside of town, and her daughter has the house next door. And so in my dream, I was flying over, and I saw their houses, and I was following the river, and I counted the bends towards town, and then I dove into the river. And I would come back up, and I'd be so frustrated because I was trying to get down to the thing that sunk so I could drive it back up. And I would wake up going, that is the stupidest thing in the world. You can't drive up something, a boat or anything after it sinks. You can't drive it back up. That's so stupid. But I kept having this dream over and over, and it was always in the same spot, and I was counting the bends of the river. So I went on Google Earth, and I looked at the location of the bends of the river from my aunt's house. And I called my cousin and I said, hey, this many bends up the river towards town from your house. Something in the river there? Something sunk in the river there? And she's like, I don't know. And I, very positive thinker that I am, I'm like, maybe it's a treasure, let's go find it. And I said, is the ice still solid? I could bring my husband's ice auger out there, and we could just drill down and stick his ice fishing camera down there and see what's down there. She's like, no, the ice isn't stable anymore. I'm like, shoot. So I just told her where it was, and I said, can you ask your sister if she's dreaming about it? Because her sister is also sensitive, but she's kind of scared of it. So I asked her if she would ask her sister if she was picking up on anything in the river there, and she hadn't been. Well, then I don't know how long it was, maybe a month, maybe it was 2 months. I don't know. But my cousin called me crying. She's like, they found her right where you said she'd be. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, Gina Anderson, they found her right where you said she'd be. I go, I don't know who you're talking about. What are you talking about? And she said, that place in the river that you said something was down there, it was a woman in her car.
Oh my gosh.
So here I was trying to swim down to drive the thing back up that sunk. It was her car. And there had been a woman missing for a year and a half. And I don't watch the news because it's very upsetting to me. So I didn't know that there was a woman missing. I don't live there anymore. So it's not like it's my hometown where I moved away from there when I was like 4. So I didn't know anything about a missing woman. But here I was picking up on her, and that was my cousin, I guess, said to look there, and they did, and they found her. So she had had a seizure and drove into the river, and nobody saw her.
Oh.
So Yeah, so she just died in her car.
Oh
So,
my
but they
gosh.
found her. They found her. She was there right where I was trying to get down to the treasure.
And,
And I thought,
drive it up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's how I found my first dead body. But you know, after that, you know, I found other people too, through that process. You know, just with remote viewing though, like consciously doing it, not just dreaming it. So yeah, but that's me. Well, I want to hear about you guys.
Yeah. What are some of your abilities? I mean, what do you guys, have you had any experiences like Jen?
Oh,
Not like that. Michelle definitely can talk to that stuff. For me, I can hear things. I'm more auditory. I can hear them kind of sometimes in my head. I hear them outside of my head. I hear them down the hallway. They're constantly talking. Like seriously, it's bad sometimes. And like tonight, for example, like I'm home by myself, and when I go to bed, there'll just be chattering up a storm, or sometimes I hear like a 1930s party going on. It's like it's just weird. And I've kind of almost equated it to almost like, what if it's almost not so much ghosts, but like I don't know, realities on top of realities, or time slips. Like almost like I'm hearing things from another time and it's just a time slip, or it's like almost like we call the Matrix. But um yeah, so we've been kind of like thinking more outside towards that. Like what if it's not really just spirit? What if it's something different? But yeah, that's kind of me. I can hear them. I've seen them. I've seen full body apparitions. One of my first, which got me into this, was when I was 14 years old. A lady in white, as you know, normally is, but it was in my bedroom. I was in bed, and I actually had stayed home sick that day, and the doorknob just started like moving on its own, and I started moving, and I started to like cover myself a little bit. I'm like peeking out, what's going on? And this woman dressed in white just walked in. She went over to the window, and then she looked at me, and I looked straight at her, and she smiled. And it wasn't like a crazy, creepy smile. It was like a sincere, I'm looking after you smile. And then she looked back out the window and disappeared. So that was my first like full body apparition, my first real experience like that, where it definitely got me more intrigued. But we've always kind of dealt with stuff as kids too. So, but seeing that was pretty cool.
Hmm. Don't you look back at the past and think of all the things that you've seen and thought, why didn't I do more? Why didn't I do this or go there? Or why didn't I confront it? Or, you know, as kids, we don't think about that. We're like, "Ah," and we run, you know, sometimes. So it's exciting hearing your stories. What about you guys?
so I've been sensitive since I was young. We lived in a house that was built in an apple orchard, and there were a bunch of graves that they moved, and we had a big historical cemetery at the end of our court. So all the houses there had things going on, including ours. That's when I really started to notice that I had these gifts, because I would hear things, I would see things. We had things flying through the house, the doors slamming open. It was, but looking back, we were scared, but not as scared as we should have been.
Right.
I don't know. We just almost got used to it because we were kind of brought up. My mom was into horror stuff, so that wasn't a big deal. And then everywhere we moved, things kind of followed us, is what we thought. I mean, it even got to the point where I got pushed off a bed one night onto the floor, saw a grotesque floating head when I opened my eyes one day. I mean, just weird stuff. I mean, we've never been hurt, though. I mean, I don't fear that. Uh, but yeah, looking back now, I'm like, wow, we've had a ton of experiences, like tons. And it's just every day. I'm just glad that this is more in the mainstream now, because for years we didn't really say things to a lot of people. I always feel like the weirdo. Even now, I always feel like I'm like outside of myself looking at everything else because I'm an empath, and I think sometimes I do that on purpose.
You know,
But
that's so, no, you said, what are your abilities now? You said you can see people, and do you hear them as well?
I can hear them. Kim and I just realized a couple of years ago that we've been hearing the same things. I hear parties, I hear massive conversations. I've heard Indian tribe things when I lived in a different part of the state. I mean, I hear things talking. I've heard screaming, which is scary because sometimes it's in my head and sometimes it's outside. I get both. But I also see things on and off. I see energy around people in the air. I see it everywhere constantly. It's really weird. So my sister just tells me I gotta kind of figure out what to hone in on one thing, but it's so hard.
Right? It's like a
lot of
spinning
different
wheel.
little pieces.
Well, she's so all over the place. It's like she's got all these talents, and I'm like, but there, I was like, just hone in on one, and let's work on one, and then we'll work on another one. But she just wants to like do it all. She's like,
well, it doesn't really come that way. It just comes in the way that it comes in.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because sometimes I was teaching a Reiki class one time, and I was just telling my students that our guides communicate with us in a way that we will understand. Well, then we did the group session when I was take notes, and I tell them to take notes, and then I keep my notebook closed until they all share what they experienced in the group. And then I open my notebook and show them that I experienced some of the same things they did. So that shows them that they can trust what they're sensing. But so I just said they always communicate in a way that you will understand. And here I was getting all these numbers, and I was like, no idea what the numbers mean. One of them had a numbers book in their backpack. And I hadn't received numbers like that before because I didn't have that book. But apparently my guides knew that there was a book in the backpack.
I was thinking lottery, time to go play.
So, I mean, I always tell people you have to develop your psychic vocabulary, and everybody has their own. And so it comes at you different ways, and different things will start to mean something to you. And that doesn't mean it means the same thing for somebody else. You're developing your own language with spirit, so to speak. So, I mean, it's just something that you work on. And I think every psychic needs to do that. And it's a constant process. Your vocabulary is going to keep growing for as long as you're alive. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is neat. It's really neat that we each have our own individual experiences. And it's hard to talk about them sometimes because people look at us like we're nuts. Like they'll be nice to your face and go, oh, wow. But they're really like, oh, weirdo, But I do have a quick question for you guys. You said it was really loud. How do you tone that down? How do you tone that loudness of these things you hear?
I guess you just get to a point where you kind of learn how to almost ignore it, or just sometimes I will actually speak out loud and just be like, guys, I'm trying to sleep, or guys, I'm working, like just talk to them. And then it does get quiet. It's weird. It's like they're respecting it. They're going, okay.
That's good. That's awesome.
There you go. I've had some pretty rude ghosts in the years, though. Pretty rude, pretty insistent.
Really?
Like, no, you are going to call her. You're going to call her and tell her this right now. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like I had an unborn baby, a miscarried baby telling me to call its mother.
Oh, no.
Who was my neighbor 2 doors away. Wanted me to call her and tell her a message from her dead baby that she miscarried. And I said, I am not doing that. I hardly know her. I'm not doing that. And and it would not stop. It wouldn't leave me alone for days. And I'm like, fine.
That's an awkward call right there.
I know. And I'm like, hi. I called her at work. I'm like, hi, how you doing? I gotta tell you something's going on. And she started to cry as soon as I said something about miscarried baby. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I'm like, here's what the baby wants me to tell you.
Oh,
And she was just like, oh my God, I needed to hear this today. I so needed to hear this today. And I was like, okay, good. I'm good. I'm like, you're going to be pregnant within like 3 months and it'll be the same spirit of the same baby. That's what the message was.
Wow.
Isn't it beautiful how messages we receive help people? They're not, I've never had anything come that has been in a negative way impacting anyone. It's always been, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Even just by sharing a story, people are just thankful.
Yeah.
We have a lot of.
She did get pregnant within a few months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
She had a healthy baby. So, but I've gotten some pretty insistent spirits over the years that don't go away.
Yeah, I think ours just kind of like hang out because they like us. They're like, oh, they're fun.
Kim has a ghost kitty that I've seen.
Oh yeah, I do have my ghost kitty.
That was my experience, like coming like from the, like I said, more analytical side where I don't have the same experiences as the girls, but I was just, I don't remember what weekend it was, but we were doing something and I was unpacking in Kim's guest room and I thought, so she has a little golden doodle named Waffles and she's so cute and she's like a little brown, cute little thing. And then like, I swear to this day, like she ran by me, she went under the bed, and I'm just like, oh, hi, Waffles, like just talking to her, unpacking, and like no joke, like 5 minutes later, I think Kim walked in and was like, have you seen Waffles? Right? And I was like, oh, she's under the bed, and she looks at her, she's like, she's not under the bed. And I was like, no, she's under the bed, because like, I just saw her going under there, and then like sure enough, Waffles like downstairs in her crate.
It is downstairs. That's just Kit though.
She's like my best friend because then she's like, oh, you probably just saw her like Kit, right? And I was like, who? Like, what did I see?
Kit used to love the spare room. She used to go. She was an Abyssinian, so she was brown, and Michelle forced me to adopt her. And she's really a cat lady. I'm more of a dog person, but the kitty was in a shelter for 7 years and had FIV, so needed a home. So she drove like cross country and then brought the Abyssinian home to me. And this is how like I ended up naming her. They had like Cleopatra and all these things going through my head. I'm like, Kit Kat, like Kit. So she ended up just being Kit. And when she passed, I think this was because it was just such a loving home. And, we loved her to death. Obviously, regardless, she's an animal. I just love animals. And so she had a really nice place that she lived till the end of her life. And so she still visits. We have her urn downstairs in her picture, and she loved the guest bedroom. She would go in there and just go behind the bed and play. So that's what Squirrel saw. So yeah, I see her occasionally. Even my husband does, and he doesn't really believe. He's like very, very skeptic. But he's been like, was that Waffles? Wait, no, oh gosh, did I just see the cat? Like,
that's
yes,
so
you did, honey.
That's interesting. So does he ever say, like, if something happens around you, does he ever say weird? Like if you say something's gonna happen, weird. I'm just curious.
He's actually seen things. He hears things sometimes. I mean, sometimes like when I say they get loud. Like we will be in bed and he's like, oh, why are they still talking? I'm like, you hear them? And I get so excited because I'm like, yes. And he's like, no, I don't want to talk about it.
And that's
hiding. He's hiding. Oh,
he's in the psychic closet.
Yes. That's awesome. Jen said that to me once. She said, you got to come out of the psychic closet because it's hard. It took a lot because it's embarrassing because not everybody believes in it, and if you say anything at the doctor's office, you can't. They'll put you in somewhere you shouldn't be. But oh my goodness, I
have said things at the doctor's office. I'm like, all right, just so you know, I am an energy worker and I'm a psychic. So sometimes my symptoms are not normal. But I don't know if they are psychic or energy. So I'm just going to tell you what the symptom that I'm having. And they're like, okay.
They're like, so white jacket.
Vacation.
Nope, got it, Jen. Got it.
Those nurses have to write everything down. That's what I was told. Don't talk about that. I have to write everything down, so don't talk about that.
You don't know. I mean, when you're having a medical thing and you don't know, is this a symptom or is this energy or what?
Or is it the drugs?
Yeah, I've gotten that off of I'm a hairstylist by trade, and I've gotten that off my clients, and it's been a day I forgot to do the bubble. and I end up with like all this pain from like, and I'm like, I know it's them because I was fine when I went in, and I'm having all their symptoms when I go home, and I'm like, damn it.
You know, when I was in massage therapy school, they taught us about the energy transfer between client and practitioner. And they told us to envision a brick wall that we're reaching through, that we can reach through, but nothing can come back through to us.
Okay.
And I thought that was just BS, hoopla. I didn't believe in it until I was out doing my own practice. And this lady came in with this bad hip pain, and she left feeling great. And then I had this hip pain. And the more that this happened, I was like, okay, brick wall, here we go, brick wall.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
See, can I ask you guys something? I've been noticing, okay, I just came back from like 4 casinos, and every casino, that's why I look like this, but every casino, I swear, there's always somebody watching, standing over the black figures, always. And I turn around and there's never anybody there. You know, you see, but you don't see, like that neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
see that a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at work alone. I mean,
A
thankfully
lot.
I had a client the other day go, what was that black thing that just ran by? I go, oh, you saw that?
See, that's what I'm talking
There I
about.
go.
Things are,
I go, yeah, that's here. I see it sometimes.
don't you think that things are changing right now where people that don't believe are starting to see things? It's almost like a veil. The veil is a little bit thinner.
I
What do you
noticed
think?
that ever since COVID, actually, like people either went very, very spiritual or very, very not. Like there was no in between anymore. It was very strange. There was definitely a shift with, I think, I don't know, just our spiritual beliefs. So, and I think too, during COVID, maybe a lot of people were actually at home meditating, finding themselves a little bit more. And yeah, I mean, Michelle and I have discussed that a ton, that we were like, we noticed this weird shift, and like there seemed to be more people that were like into the paranormal afterwards and loved spiritual stuff. And we're like, where did this come from? Like,
Right.
yeah. And they're open
Yeah.
about it. I mean, I work for a property management company, and most of so I'm a regional trainer, and I go in and train new hires and promotions, and I have like a big team, and like I go in and I wear my, my malas and everything, and I have my beads, and they're like, they instantly know that I'm a spiritual person, and then they start talking to me about ghosts and all that stuff. And it's like, everybody's so open now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love that.
things have changed. I literally felt a shift, like a literal shift. And I text Jen and Tammy. I said, "Did you guys just feel that?" Tammy said she felt it. I was like, I knew. I didn't think it was me because it was a total shift. Like I don't know what it was, but it was a shift. Do
Did you
guys
feel
have any
that
answer?
recently?
How long ago was that, Jen? Maybe a month ago?
I don't
3
remember.
weeks? I don't remember either. But it wasn't too long ago.
About that, actually. That's when I started feeling weird, and we've been talking about that. Like I kept saying something's wrong.
Off.
Something's off, but I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Right. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that because, it's just more validation that there is something that is changing. I love it. I think everybody's becoming more open, don't you?
I do. And this is the point where I have to ask them how people can find them online. We're at the end of the
He's
show.
at the end.
Yes.
Ready?
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, squirrel.
Yes, so currently we're on Instagram at Soul Sister Supernatural. You can also find us on Facebook at Soul Sister Supernatural as well. So like us, follow us. We're hoping to get YouTube online soon, so that's our next project. So when we do, please subscribe.
We will.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so Ceiling Cat is in the chat room and she said, Jen, Pluto went into Aquarius a few weeks ago. Maybe that was what you guys felt.
Huh. I don't know, but it was definitely noticeable.
Yes.
Thank you for making that comment. That's good to know.
It is good to know. It is
I
good
feel
to know.
better too. So
Oh,
And
you
that
guys.
music is the exit to the show. So thank you for coming on, and we hope to have you on another time, ladies. That would be so fun.
Thank you, girls. It was
Yes.
so nice meeting you, girls.
Ditto. Total ditto. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.